changing phases of society. Right now, I am at society 4.0 and society 5.0, somewhere in the middle of it. Most of the countries are talking about robotics, AI, machine learning, IoT, or advanced AI, or biotechnology, nanotechnology. So all of us, we are talking about it. Similarly, talk about agriculture. People have gone up to agriculture 5.0. We are still at anywhere between agriculture 2.0 and agriculture 3.0. Number of national missions have been established by Government of India to bring up the agriculture. Say AI in agriculture is one such mission which is working out of IIT Ropar. And similarly, there are other missions working at various other institutions. And I'm sure some of you must be working on this. So agriculture 5.0. Similarly, we already have industry 4.0 in some of our advanced industry. And this talks about technological factors, talks about organizational factors, talks about environmental factors. Very important. And next is Industry 5.0, wherein we also talk about the economic sustainability and socio-environmental sustainability. And there are various layers of technology. There is enabling technology layer, there is emerging technology layer, there are smart component layers, and there is a value layer. So Industry 5.0, where you connect technology with the human brain, you put them together and you bring in Industry 5.0. And then we talk about Services 5.0, wherein the entire infrastructure, whether city infrastructure or the village infrastructure, is all connected. It's all connected. Integrated future of work network, we call it 5.0. So if we have to tackle these kind of institutions, we have to have a very different set of education which we are looking at. Look at DPI today, digital public infrastructure. Almost 1.4 billion Aadhaar cards, 500 million bank accounts, 850 million internet users, and more than 750 million smartphones. And you have India Stack, you have UPI, you have Beam. You transact 20 lakh crore worth of transactions every month. 20 lakh crore. And all this has to be supported by education. The education landscape of India is pretty large. 28 crore people in school education, 4.5 crore in higher education, 63 crore people in the workforce. And if you look at skilled and semi-skilled workforce, that's not even one third of that. And there are 11.7 crore people who are not in education, employment, or training. And all this is happening in about 15 lakh schools and 1,340 universities, 58,000 colleges. Now that's a very large ecosystem. And there are 15 lakh teachers. And we need to achieve the GR of 50% by 2035. That means this number is going to grow from 4.5 crores to 10 crores by 2035. So that's a big challenge for all of you, and it's a big opportunity as well. Look at the universities. Now we have 1,341 universities. This list, I got it updated by UGC last month. So 1,351 universities, including private universities, deemed to be universities, central universities, and all INIs. It's a large number. And if you want to achieve 10 crore people, this might go double. This might go to 2,600 universities. So the National Education Policy 2020 was brought in. And to implement this policy, the government created something called National Credit Framework. For the first time, all regulators sat together UGC, AICT, NCVET, NCRT, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Skill Development. They sat together and they brought out this National Credit Framework, which has three main curricular framework, qualification framework. One is the National Curriculum Framework for School Education. Second is the National Higher Education Qualification Framework for Higher Education. And then National Skill Qualification Framework, which fits into both school education as well as into higher education. So, NCrF is a transformative and disruptive meta-framework for implementing education integrated with skilling. And it integrates credits from your academic learning, from your skill-based learning, and from your experiential learning, and also from industry. And there are various levels assigned to it. If you look at the new education architecture, it is learning in three dimensions. On x-axis, you learn from academics. On y-axis, you learn from skill-based education. And on z-axis, you have experiential learning. This is the proficiency axis. There is 1,200 hours of learning every year, including co-curricular activities, 40 credits per year, on an average 30 hours of learning, 1 credit. Assessment is mandatory. And for higher education, 15 hours of lectures, 30 hours of practicals, and 45 hours of experiential learning is 1 credit. And most importantly, up to 50% of the credits you can earn from the y-axis. 50% you earn from the x-axis, and the remaining 50% from the y-axis. From skill-based courses, you add the two, and then you create what is the new degree. You create the new degree. So, the National Credit Framework is basically learning in all three dimensions. On x-axis is academics, on y-axis is skill-based learning, and on z-axis is experiential learning. And this is now being implemented in higher education, in school education, in skill education, in industry-based education. And this is universally accepted. Now, whatever you see here is the agreed version by all the regulators. Now, coming to the main features of the National Credit Framework and also the NEP. First is the holistic education and development. So, you develop students' cognitive, emotional, and social skills, as well as making education student-centered and value-based. Second, you enable integration and creditization of all learnings. As I said, all learning from academic education, vocational education, and experiential learning. Third, you remove all kinds of hard separation. You don't differentiate between educational streams, general education, vocational education, similarly curricular and co-curricular activity. Then you predefine all the learning outcome-based learning and competency-based assessment, that is mandatory. Then multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, and transdisciplinarity in education is a must. Normally, we only talk about multidisciplinarity, but no, it is interdisciplinarity and transdisciplinarity as well. And then that gives you the flexibility and choice for every student. Then multiple entry, multiple exit. Students should be able to enter at any level, come out at every level. You establish equivalence between the vocational education and skill education and mobility between the two. Faculty's professional development is one of the most important aspects. So we are coming up with another program called ARPIT 2, that is for the training of 15 lakh higher education teachers. That program will be out by July. And all of you will be able to, your teachers will be able to take up this program on SWAYAM Plus platform. So quality and innovation is another area which is extremely important. So promoting high standards in pedagogy, infrastructure, making Indian education globally competitive, and integration of academic learning and industry exposure. NAC is defining that. Similarly, focus on skills for employability, integration of employability skills, soft skills, life skills, and then future of technology, future of work skills, skills on Indian knowledge system. Then promoting digital and online education, blended learning, open distance learning, especially with the use of technology. Multilingualism and Indian languages, all Indian languages, is a must. You have to teach in mother tongue for kids, it's a must. So we encourage that you develop courses in all the Indian languages. And whichever state you are in, the course must be taught in that language. For example, in engineering, now we have started courses in more than 11 languages. And books are available. And these books have been written by some of the top professors in IITs. Similarly, assignment, accumulation, transfer, redemption of credits through the APAR ID, which is given to the students, and through the Academic Bank of Credit. Call it ABC. Then inclusion and equity, Honorable Vice President of India talked about it. Making education accessible to all, especially the marginalized one, enabling learners with varying learning abilities. And very importantly, provision of recognition of prior learning. This was never there in higher education. For the first time, this has been introduced. And this is what is bringing the lifelong learning experience. Then internationalization of education and international equivalence of qualifications and skills. So these are the 16 basic features which you must look into your university. Have you implemented all these 16? If you have, then yes, you have implemented NCrF fully. If you look at the whole thing into one single continuum spectrum, right from 5-year foundational education to 3 years preparatory, 3 years middle, 2 years of secondary, 2 years of senior secondary, 3 to 4 years of UG and 2 years of PG and then your doctoral. So this kind of continuous spectrum is not there in any other country in the world. And all countries, they are trying to sort of understand this and try to assimilate it. I have already presented this before the Commonwealth of Learning, before Australian government, before Singapore government, and similarly before G20. And they are all very enamored about this. They have not integrated school education and higher education with skill education completely in one single spectrum. Now, this outcome-based education and the competency-based learning, you have to first define the learning outcomes. Then you map these learning outcomes with the kind of job role this is going to be suitable for, or the national occupation standard for which it will be suitable. It could be a macro credential, it could be a nano credential as well. Then you assign the appropriate NCrF level and you assign the number of credits to it. Again, this is a very scientific process. It's very well defined. It is notified. Then defining assessment criteria and methodology. After that, you go through the education, go through the classes, and assess the student as per the assessment methodology. If the student passes, you give him full credits. And those credits will go into his academic bank of credit. Similarly, as I said, assessment is a very important part. So we only know about formative assessment and summative assessment, but then you have diagnostic assessment, you have spatial assessment, you have criteria-based assessment, you have reference-based assessment, you have AI-based assessment, peer-to-peer assessment. So there are 12 kinds of assessments. And when you design your curriculum, you must include all these methods. And these methods are very, very effective. And you will find these methods duly explained in the blended learning guidelines of NCVET, which are already there. Similarly, the National Credit Framework very clearly defines the methods for credit assignment, credit accumulation, credit storage, credit redemption, and credit transfer. And this has started happening across various universities. So much so that now IITs, they have started sort of credit transfer amongst themselves and amongst the other institutions. And the time is not far when IIT and IIM, they would start a course which cuts across both the institutions. We are going to start one such course at IIT Ropar with IIM Amritsar. And obviously the credits would be transferred. No, 50% credits would be earned from here and 50% from the other institution. Similarly, you have the provision for educational acceleration in the NCrF. You have provision for hackathon and Olympiads. You have already detailed guidelines issued by UGC on recognition of prior learning. And other activities can also be creditized, for example, games and sports, performing arts, fine arts, Indian knowledge system, heritage and traditional skills, social work and community service, NSS and NCC, educational and academic clubs, hobbies club, etc. Whatever student is learning can be creditized, and you can specify that in every semester you will count these as 2 credits. Two credits he can take from this, or 3 credits he can take from this. And you can go ahead with this. Similarly, the use of technology. So in teaching, whether animation, simulations, metaverses, digital twins, or extended reality, or special tools for Divyangs. No, we must include this as part of the teaching methodology, and we must teach it very properly. So major components of learning, all of you are aware: knowledge, skills, professional learning, and aptitude. And this applies irrespective of the subject, whether you are in a technical subject or in a non-technical subject. So factual, conceptual, cognitive, and metacognitive knowledge. And then you have all kinds of skills. And then you apply the Bloom's taxonomy. By the way, this Bloom taxonomy is not new. This used to be there in our rishis and munis when they used to teach. Now we have analogies developed, and we can share with you those papers. If you really look at it, there's a cognitive process dimension and there's a knowledge process dimension. On cognitive process dimension, you have remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. On knowledge dimension, you have factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedure knowledge, and metacognitive knowledge. All you have to do is to go up the ladder. Most of the schools are covering only first 4 quadrants. Most of the institutions are covering 9 quadrants. Some of the IITs are covering up to 12 quadrants, but there are 24 quadrants. So all you have to do is to reach the top. So as you go up the ladder, you keep on reaching the institution which actually create the knowledge, which innovate. It's extremely important. So multidisciplinary characteristic, interdisciplinary characteristic, and transdisciplinary characteristic. Very important to understand. Now, if you have a salad in a plate, and that salad, you cut different pieces, and you put it together, that is multidisciplinary. Now, if you grade it together, and you put some salt and put some nibu on that, on lemon on that, and you mix it up, it is interdisciplinary. And when you put it in the oven, you make a cake out of the whole thing. That's the transdisciplinary. So normally the transdisciplinary knowledge is used for solving practical problems, where more than one subject experts, they come together and they solve a particular problem and they offer that course. If you look at most of the top world universities, they are offering transdisciplinary courses. And interdisciplinary courses are so many. Now, even Indian universities are now offering. But this is something which is very difficult for one department, professor from one department, to sit with the professor from the other department and design a course which is so intermingled that you are unable to recognize various components. Which component is from which discipline? And together it produces wonderful results. Similarly, recognition of prior learning is a very important concept. That means you can join a course. After first year, you can go out, you can learn on your own, you can come back after third semester, you can appear in the examination, and you can get recognition of prior learning, whatever you did while you were out. You could be in a startup, you learned in a startup, you came back, and full credits can be given for that. So this has been now recognized by UGC. Similarly, NCrF as an enabler for integration of future skills into the higher education. So whether you talk about adaptability or ethical skills, or you talk about technical and digital skills, you talk about interpersonal and social skills, you talk about cognitive and analytical skills. All that is possible to integrate. And when you design a course, you have bouquet of micro-credentials and nano-credentials available. You can just pick them up and put them as part of the curriculum. Get it approved by your highest academic body, and that's it. You are good to go. So curriculum design, you can integrate it. Data analytics, quantum computing, employability modules. Similarly, stackable nurses, you pick up the micro-credentials and you pick up small certifications by the industry. You can integrate them with the curriculum. And then it can be done through the online platforms and practical labs as well. The future skills, capacity building framework, we have already worked on this. So AI skills, data sciences skills, cyber security, 3D printing, robotics, IoT, green energy, digital finances. So these are some of the skills which cut across the departments. They are cut across universities. They are cut across subjects. And you can add them as part of different sectors. When you cross them with different sectors, you create different courses, different subjects. And that is what is being done by NCVET most of the time. And there are personalized learning and digital platforms. You are aware of these platforms. And you must use these platforms. And when you cut across these 10 big technologies, AI, big data, cloud computing, Internet of Things, blockchain, cybersecurity, social and mobile, RPA, XR, VR, and 3D printing, with all these sectors of economy, you come up with cross-sectoral skills and you build capacity in those skills, as the Honorable Vice President of India was talking about. And these are the 60 sectors where you need to work. There are 60 sectors. These sectors are recognized by the RBI. This is how they monitor the FDI. And you need to work with these 60 sectors. And if you need details on these, of course, I can share those details with you on each one of these sectors. Just to give you an example, the digital capacity building and skilling framework, we created a framework where you can find basic digital literacy, universal digital proficiency, tech-fluent digital practitioners, and digital pioneers. Now, these courses are already created. They are available. You can just pick them up, put them as part of the curriculum. Similarly, on artificial intelligence, there is AI awareness. There is universal AI proficiency, AI fluent practitioners, AI pioneers, and cross-sectoral AI skills. Again, the courses have been created at various levels, level 3, level 4, level 4.5 to 5.5, level 5.5 to level 8. And these courses are available to you for integration into various subjects. So you can pick them up. Similarly, semiconductors. Now we have created the entire ecosystem for semiconductor industries, and along with the AICT, we are developing these courses. If you want, I can share with you that national report as well. So as of today, there are 545 future skill qualifications which are available in the skill ecosystem. And they are available on the national qualification registers. 3D printing, automation RPA, AI and ML, data analytics, CAD-CAM, 5G, 6G, cloud computing, cyber security, drone tech, EV and automotive, electronic design and manufacturing, AR, VR and extended reality, health tech, IoT and industrial IoT, mechatronics, VLSI design, nanotechnology, green tech, agri-tech, others. They are all available. And you can use these to enhance your experience. So coming to multiple entry, multiple exit, I am sure you would have already implemented this UG certificate, UG diploma, and degree program. If somebody goes out after 1 year and he takes a 4-credit additional course, then he gets a UG certificate. If he goes out after 2 years and he gets 4-credit exit course, he gets UG diploma. And after 3 years, complete UG degree, and after 4 years, UG degree with honors. So that is possible. And this has been implemented. Even IITs are now thinking of implementing this. Earlier, they were a little hesitant, but they have now started working on this. Similarly, IIMs are working on this, that if somebody goes after 1 year, goes out after 1 year, what happens? So on and so forth. And under the UG programs, now 3 or 4 year UG program guidelines of UGC, now you have various options available. there are 3-year courses, there are 4-year courses, and the minimum number of credits, the maximum number of credits, the number of semesters, the number of years, all that is specified. And if I look at it, you can go for a major degree stream, both in 3 years as well as in 4-year course. That means if 50% credits you get into one subject, that is your major stream. Along with one major stream, you can have 2 minor streams. That means if you have 12 credits each of 2 courses at your UG level 3 years degree program, you can write them as part of the degree. You can say that this person is basically BA in psychology with minor in AI, minor in artificial intelligence, or with minor in history, or minor in employability skills. Similarly, for 4-year courses. Similarly, you can have multidisciplinary courses. One person can take courses from the other. You can be BTech in electronics engineering with a minor in psychology. Why not? Minor in history. Why not? Unless you bring these subjects together, innovation is not going to happen. And this is what has been allowed. And now we have put all these courses, ability enhancement, skill enhancement, value-added courses, etc., together. And even internship and dissertation projects, they have been put together. And whatever you see here is sort of limitation has been removed. You can design your courses in the way you like. And you can have courses wherein you can have your theory, your practical, your on-the-job training, your project work with industry. You can work in a startup. You can go for apprenticeship work. And all that can be part of your curriculum. The only condition is that you can use various methods for teaching, but 50% you must go for the normal academics, 50% you can go for either online or apprenticeship-based or internship-based or project-based learning. Any kind of learning you can go for without any issue. And I've also given some examples what kind of components can be included in the course curriculum. So lectures, assignments and self-study, class projects and group work, field projects and survey work, internship short-term, internship long-term, capstone projects, dissertation. Similarly, your apprenticeship, your online courses, including macro-credential, nano-credential and short-term online courses, even the community service. So you can include this as part of the curriculum. 10 days of community service is 1 credit. And you can get this approved by your academic council and go ahead with it. So recently, we have even gone in for the apprenticeship embedded degree program. Up to 50% of the time you can spend in an industry and you can still give a degree to that person. And whatever courses you are already running under the UGC programs, you can change those into ADP, into apprenticeship embedded degree programs. So in a 3-year program, the permissible apprenticeship embedded program, minimum 1 semester, maximum 3 semesters. UG 4-year, minimum 2 semesters, maximum 4 semesters. That means maximum up to 50% of the time, he can be on apprenticeship. And based on that, he can get a degree. So the only condition is that the first semester, he has to be part of the higher education institution. First semester, he must spend in the higher education institution. And the last semester, he must spend in the industry so that he gets a permanent job in the industry. So this has been implemented. This was never possible earlier. Without NCrF, this was not possible. So this AEDP has been fully implemented, and you can even define your own curriculum, which is aligned with the industry for that 50% of the part the boy is spending with the industry. So any industry comes to you that they want to design a course with you, up to 50% apprenticeship, you can sit down, you can work out with them, and rest 50% you teach. So it's a huge flexibility for you and a huge flexibility for the industry. Industry cannot say that I don't like this person. He is not really trained. Because if you train that person as per the requirement of the industry, they'll have to agree. Similarly, you can add skills, 50% skill-based courses, NHEQF or NSQF or even an NCF. That means at school level also the skills can be added. And it is possible to add. And there are skill level courses available right from level 1 to level 8. And if you actually see level 4.5, level 5, level 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7 and 8. So these are the courses which are available to you. You can pick up these courses and you have 545 future skills, 374 nurses and 192 micro-credentials which are available. You can simply pick them up, put them as part of your curriculum, and you can teach them. And these are available free of cost on the National Qualification Register. Yes, you have to develop your own content. If somebody is developing a content, he is putting a price tag on that. You can have a collaboration with them also, not a problem. And there are more than 2,685 qualifications which are right now available on that NQR. And mind you, every 3 years, the qualification is archived. As you have expiry on the medicine, similarly, you have expiry on all the skills. There are 5,820 courses have been archived. You can pick up a course from there and you can update it. You can again adopt it, no problem. So that is also possible. And also the soft skills. Soft skills are very important. Communication skills, interpersonal and social skills, cognitive and metacognitive skills, citizenship and constitutional values, digital fluency, English and foreign language literacy, workplace and job-related skills, foundational skills and self-employment and entrepreneurship skills. And these skills have been further subdivided into 50 sub-modules. And courses are ready on these 50 sub-modules. And these 50 sub-modules are available in 4 variants. One for school education, one for college education, one for professional education, and one for illiterate people. And right now, the content is being developed. And that content is likely to be available in another 2 months' time. If somebody wants simply the curriculum, that can be made available today without any issue. And these have been very thoughtfully designed in collaboration with the industry, depending upon their requirements. So this covers pretty much what industry needs for tomorrow's workforce. And if you are an NCVET's awarding body, which status you can get very easily, then you are able to offer these skill-based courses even to students outside your regular students. You can offer to students from outside, you can bring them, you can conduct these courses, and you can earn a lot of money out of this. And if some of these courses, they go online on Swayam Plus platform, again, there is no dearth of the kind of money you can make out of these courses. Now, I was listening to the financial crisis now, which is normally the universities are facing. So this is one solution. Beyond your regular students, you can offer these skills if you are NCVET's awarding body. So that facility is not available. And these certificates are national certificates. So you will be issuing a national certificate, you will be giving him a credit which will be recognized by all other institutions in India. That is how it is. And these are all the existing awarding bodies, the sector skill councils. Then there are universities, there are national bodies, which are part and parcel of the entire skilling ecosystem. And you can see all the top institutions like CDAC, IBM, UNADC, or InSpace, even ISRO courses, they get recognition. And similarly, all courses which are run by the army for their Jawans and for their NGOs, they get the approval of NCVET and they get the corresponding credits. This is how Agniveers have been recognized. 50% of their regular training is being recognized as a training, and certificates are being issued, credits are being given against those trainings, regular trainings. And rest 50% they earn either from the NIOS if they are looking for 12th grade certificate, or if they are looking for a UG certificate, then from IGNOU. And those agreements have been signed. And this has been done in the presence of all the chiefs. There are 20 directorates, all 20 directorates are NCVET compliant now, and their courses are approved by NCVET. The curriculum is approved by NCVET, and that is equivalent to the industry. So when they go out, Finding a job is not a problem for them anymore. So this has been done already. So for some of you who might be thinking that for art subject, is there anything skill-based course which I can offer? Yes, you can offer. For example, BA History. You can offer digital history, archives management, public history and heritage tourism, digital storytelling, global perspective in history. Similarly, cultural resource management, heritage conservation and restoration, public policy in history, applied linguistics, AI in historical research, entrepreneurship in heritage. So all these courses are possible in history. Similarly, talk about political science. We have whole number of courses which are available in political science. Digital advocacy and campaigning, AI applications in political analysis, negotiation and diplomacy skills, leadership and management in politics. Similarly, political risk analysis forecasting. Every industry which comes to your state would need this course. And then international development, AIDS management, political psychology and behavioral analysis, data analysis for political science. Similarly, for economics, all kinds of courses are possible. And similarly, we have done this complete exercise. There are 150 of these courses which are interdisciplinary courses, especially for the art subjects. And you can develop these courses, you can run these courses, and you can make them available to all your students. And these can be to the extent of 50% of the total coursework which they are doing. So English, BCom, biology, physics, chemistry. No, just one single subject, say biotechnology. You see the tree which requires higher order skills. There's so many outcomes of this. And if you just cross just biotechnology with bioinformatics, the kind of new qualifications you create. Some of you are running these qualifications. Similarly, if you cross biotechnology with social sciences, suddenly the dimension changes. And whole new lot of new courses, new possibilities which are required by the industry, they open up for you. Unless you really do this, your students will not be able to get jobs in the market. Right? They must get knowledge, they must get education, but they must also get skills to face the future. That's very important. Honorable Vice President of India talked about the importance of the research. So the institutional development plan, which has been approved by UGC, is already with you. And this is part and parcel of the NAC assessment as well. Now this plan talks about all important things in detail, including governance and leadership, financial sustainability, academic excellence and skilling enablers, research, innovation, growth, intellectual property, supportive enablers, human resources, social infrastructure, capacity building, enablers for networking and collaboration, physical infrastructure enablers, and digital infrastructure enablers. And just talk about research. You have whole lot of enablers for research as well. Okay. Similarly, 10 key ingredients for creating a research environment within your institution. Now, there could be a full presentation just on research. So you have to have a very strong research culture within your institution, how you actually develop it. Very important. Strong institutional research culture and leadership, sustainable and diversified research funding, student involvement and research training, strong ethical and research integrity standards, technology-driven research advancements, high-quality research infrastructure, faculty and research development programs, collaborative research ecosystem, research outcome and knowledge dissemination, and performance metrics and global recognition. So this is what Honorable Vice President was talking about. Similarly, the quality parameters for basic accreditation matrix also talks about these 10 important parameters: curriculum, faculty resources, infrastructure, financial resource management, learning and teaching, extended curricular engagement, governance and administration, students' outcome, research and innovation outcomes, sustainability outcomes and green initiatives, and institutional uniqueness. And these have been divided into input attributes, process attributes, and outcome attributes, and then extended attributes. And there has been some numbers which have been put into this. So for university, for autonomous institution, and for affiliated institution, And now we are developing the MBGL, maturity-based graded levels, which will be further enhancement of this matrix. That's what we are working. So all of you are aware, well aware of the ABC framework. You must be part of it. Every credit must go in. So I'm sure you must have implemented. And UGC has come out with all guidelines, regulations, frameworks, and these are available on their website. So all this is a reality today. It is not just a talk. It's a reality. So in the end, I would say that for universities, design and offer multi-interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary programs, research and innovation. And then for students and learners, learn and integrate skills with education, engage in multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary education, projects and innovation, especially the startups. For industry partners, collaborate on cutting-edge technologies, research and skill development. And for policymakers, support policies fostering skill-integrated, multi, inter, and transdisciplinary education and such. Thank you so very much.